Okay, this is to review assignment number 3, which we started on Thursday. We last left off with question number 9 and 10 we hadn't done yet, or if we had some additional work to do to get to a full understanding of them. And the real secret of those two questions can be found in question 12. If you do question 12, you're going to come out with the answer A. Let's make sure of that. There you go. I knew it all the time. Okay, so A is the correct answer. And A gives you a formula for calculating questions of this nature. In fact, you may be saying to yourself, okay, well, A is defining a non-controlling interest share, and question 9 is asking for the controlling interest share. So it's just the inverse. You do the same thing, except you're going to add the controlling interest parent's net income as well. So the non-controlling interest share is the subsidiary income for the year minus the gain on the sale plus the excess depreciation multiplied by the non-controlling interest percentage. So for the controlling interest, we're going to take the non-controlling interest share of the income, subtract the gain, add the excess depreciation, and multiply that new number by the controlling interest share percentage, and then add in the controlling interest share of income. And if you do that for question 9, you will get to the answer of D, the correct answer, $125,000. So you should be able to duplicate that for yourself. It's $55,000 from the subsidiary minus the gain of 15 plus the excess depreciation, which was 5, gives you 45. And trusting my calculator here, 60% of 45, which is what we're dealing with, a 60% interest. 60% of 45 is 27 plus the 98,000 earned by the parent. The two together gives you the correct answer of 125. For question 10, that's more simple comparatively because you can just follow the formula that we find in the correct answer of question 12, and let's do that. $55,000 of the subsidiary minus $15,000 of the gain plus $5,000, which is the excess depreciation, giving us once again $45,000 times 40%, $18,000, and that's the correct answer for question 10. Try that yourselves with a calculator. You should come out to the right answers, and that's the key to answering that kind of question. So I think that formula should be on the palm of your hand in class on Monday. All right, question 11 is wants to know the depreciation expense. So let's see if we can just run through that quickly. All right, so let's see. We've got $24,000 was the book value, 3 years of depreciation before selling it, and then there's 8 years left, 0 salvage value. So they sold it for how much? Let's see. Oh, okay, so this question's even simpler than that. They sold the machinery at its book value. There was no gain or loss on this. So do we have any excess depreciation? And I think that becomes easy to see. The answer is going to be C. There is no excess, and there we go. Just to make sure, yes, there's no required adjustment there because it was sold for book value, so there's no difference. All right, question 12 we went through. Question 13 and 14 I've had some difficulty with because in my book I would have been leaving the depreciation, I'm leaving the equipment at a combination of the two. These answers seem to want to go to a net value of the equipment, and I assume that's because you wouldn't know exactly what the prior value of the old books of the selling company was. You just know what the book value was. At any rate, I'm not going to ask questions like 13 or 14 on the exam. I'm going to let you know if it's net or gross, which would work according to the formula of either knowing what the gross historic value of the equipment was, or if it's the net between the accumulated depreciation, I'll let you know. So I'm not going to ask questions like that. And it's the same thing for question number 15. I'm sorry, it's 13 and 15 are the same type. We can do 14 together now, and we will. So 13 and 15, those questions will get better defined on the final. I've already checked that, and they are. So that'll be less confusion. Let's do 14 together, and then we'll call it a day. Let's see, we've got 80% interest. We've got a upstream sale to the parent, depreciating the truck over 10 years using straight line. And the question's asking for the investment income from the subsidiary to the parent, which is the same thing as the parent's net equity addition for the equity method of accounting to its investment. That's what it's basically asking for, the investment income from its subsidiary. What would be the adjustment to the equity method of the investment on the books of the parent? So it's like half the step towards getting to the consolidated whole, or the consolidated net income for the controlling interest. It's the beginning step. What was the controlling interest share of the subsidiary's profit? So this will follow the same formula we learned here, only in the inverse, and let's apply that and see if we come out with the right answer. Using that formula, what we would do is take $225,000 of the subsidiary's net income, subtract the gain of $45,000. Then we would add in the excess depreciation, which happens to be $4,500. So we add that in, and now I've got my calculator telling me error, so let me redo this. 225 plus 45, which is the gain. I'm sorry, you have to subtract that. One more time for good measure. 225,000 minus 45,000, which is the gain, plus the excess depreciation, which I calculated as 4,500, gives me 184,500. The percentage is 80%. That's 147.6. That looks like C. And indeed, C is the correct answer. So you see the formula works pretty well. And with that, I think that everybody should get those kinds of questions correct. All right, see you on the flip side, which will be fielding questions tomorrow on Sunday. Feel free to send me emails with questions and comments, and I'll try to look at those during the course of the day. Thank you.